You're watching The 7 from WATE 6 on your side.
Good evening, I'm Bo Williams, and welcome to The 7. Let's get a look at the big 7 stories right now. And topping the list for us tonight, wildfires popping up really all across the state, especially right here in our area. East Tennessee is in a drought, as you know. Strong winds are putting the entire region at an increased risk of fire. Take a look at this map provided by the Tennessee Division of Forestry. In addition to fires we've reported in Roane and Sevier County, there are fire crews now working in Anderson, Campbell, and Cocke counties. In Anderson County, a fire that started burning midday yesterday continues to grow in size thanks to dry leaves, the dry ground. There's also some open logging areas that are presenting problems with the vegetation found there, like grass and smaller trees that are susceptible to burning. This wildfire has put 3 structures in danger, but the Division of Forestry has since protected those homes, we understand. Now, we spoke with one of the homeowners who says he's not so much worried about the fire, but the smoke from it is causing some unrest. Still, the Division of Forestry has a plan in place to protect houses as the small flames work their way down the hillside.
And not to harm as much of the timber as we can, we're just going to let this fire slowly creep down, and as it gets right down here close to the house, then we'll put it out. But we don't want to put any fire on the mountain right now because then that would run back up and increase the possible damage.
Miller said that this particular area has seen a lot of fires over the years, and they are actually using some of their old fire lines from years past to fight this blaze. Crews are also expecting a storm front to move through that will potentially help them fight these fires. We'll talk more about that with Ken Weathers here in a little bit. In our next Big 7 story, there are now developments in the case against Vols starting defensive back Jaylen McCollough. A judge is now allowing the assault case to move forward. Both Jaylen McCollough and the 22-year-old victim, Zion Spencer, shared 2 different stories today. But the biggest argument brought forth by both the prosecutor and the defense attorney was if McCullough's actions were self-defense or if it could have been avoided altogether. After hearing from McCollough, Spencer, and McCullough's roommate, who claims to have watched everything unfold, the judge decided not to dismiss this case.
Concern I have is, I don't know. And why Mr. McCullough just didn't, when he got him out of the apartment, just shut the door. He keeps on trying to come in, then, call the police.
He did. He says because both sides presented 2 different stories, he wants to send the case to a grand jury. We reached out to UT to see if McCullough will play in Saturday's game against Missouri. They responded by saying there is no change in his status. Next on our list, Knoxville police tell us a man was found dead along Clinton Highway last night. KPD says the body was discovered in the grass near a bicycle. Now, the man's identity has not been released, but we are told he was 54. A police department spokesperson says that at this point, the cause of his death is not known. We're told the man's body has been sent to the Regional Forensic Center for further examination. Next on the 7 tonight, we are hearing from the family of Stephen Troell after his death in Iraq this week. In a statement, the Troell family says that they are grateful for everyone who has reached out to them. They went on to say, quote, "Your prayers, love, and kind words have sustained us as God walks us through the valley of the shadow of death." As we have reported, Troell was working in a language center when he was killed, shot by armed attackers while he was returning to his home. His death remains under investigation tonight. Troell graduated from Crown College in Powell. The school has set up a donation page to benefit his family. Next on the 7, we're honoring our nation's heroes that live right here in East Tennessee and learning more about the organizations that help those heroes after they serve. One of those organizations, UT's Veteran Success Center. Just this fall, 200 veterans enrolled at UT Knoxville, and there are more than 1,200 veterans and military connected students currently pursuing a degree. From earning a PhD to an associate degree, these service members have finished their service and are now creating a bright future for themselves. Megan Bird, as a matter of fact, is working to earn a dual degree in neuroscience and biology.
Also a first-generation college student. I always was very interested in biology and medicine and stuff, and going into a doctorate's degree or going into some kind of medical field was always something that I was intrigued by.
One stepping stone that offers help along the way is the Veteran Success Center at UT, a cohort assisting all military personnel to find prosperity.
We had around 400 veterans back around 2018, 2019. We're up to over 600, and I think a lot of that had to do with the in-state tuition that we've passed recently through the UT system. So any military service member, including ROTC, cadets, and National Guardsmen, they get in-state tuition at any UT school.
The latest data shows student veterans average more than 3.3 GPA nationally, and some say what they learned in the military translates well to the classroom. And according to the VA, 75% of student veterans are attending school full-time, with more than 50% pursuing an undergraduate degree. Rounding out the Big Seven for you just ahead of Veterans Day, we are hearing from a 97-year-old World War II veteran. Now, 97-year-old Paul Phelps went from a shipyard worker to soldier at just the age of 18, fighting in the Battle of the Bulge. Phelps is from East Tennessee, but was drafted to the Army while working in the shipyards in Baltimore back in 1943. It was just before June 6, 1944, and the invasion of Normandy. Phelps was in the 7th Battalion in the 101st Airborne Division.
I just had a short time with the 101st Airborne, and I was in a lot of artillery, but that's the heaviest thing they could carry in those gliders.
From England, he went to France and then to Holland, where he began working in communications in the wire section stringing telephone wire. This was during the siege of Bastogne, which was part of the larger Battle of the Bulge. We
have a president citation for doing that. Everybody that fought in there got a ribbon to wear on your uniform from the president. And that was President Roosevelt at that time.
Phelps also has 4 battle stars from his time overseas, but even through staring death in the face, Phelps says he does not consider himself a hero. His service saving the lives of many so they too could live to tell the tale. We should also note a new monument was just unveiled at Powell High School honoring the graduates throughout the school's history that went on to serve our country and who died protecting our freedoms. The Powell Veterans Appreciation Program came up with the idea just a few months ago, and in just 6 weeks, this monument was erected honoring the 13 Powell men reported as soldiers killed in action. The men honored on this new veteran monument span 3 wars, World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. Knoxville's Veterans Day Parade is coming up tomorrow, and we'll be bringing that to you live right here on WWII 6 on your side. If you don't plan on heading out to the parade, plan on joining us at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. In addition to the parade, you'll be able to watch the Honor Guard ceremony as well as the national anthem. And again, this is all coming up for you tomorrow, Friday, November 11th. And you'll be able to watch it right here on WWII 6 on your side. We hope you'll join us. Plus, Gatlinburg is hosting its annual Veterans Day celebration tomorrow, paying tribute to active duty military and veterans in our community. Our own Don Dare will MC the ceremony, and you can watch the tribute right here on WWII tomorrow, starting at 3 o'clock on Living East Tennessee.